Straight
Dre Baldwin, work on your game, university.com. It's been a while since I did just a straight up, I guess what y'all would consider motivational message. The message in this video is, we gonna see. I was thinking about that Drake song. Drake has a song called Energy where he says in the hook, we gonna see. And that is the mentality that I want. I used to tell athletes this all the time back in the day, is that this is the mentality that you need to take with you when things aren't working in your favor, when other people seem to not be believing in you, maybe even actively and verbally going against you, whether they're ridiculing you, whether they're trying to discourage you, whether they are holding a mirror up to you, telling you that whatever you're doing just seems to not be working right now. The mentality you need to have in response to all of that is, we gonna see. And we gonna see is just saying, you're not gonna sit there and people are doubting you and they're not seeing your vision and they don't think you're going to make it where it is apparent that you're trying to go. It is not your job to argue with them or try to convince them that you know the path or that your thing is going to work out, because if they're already in a position of verbalizing to you that they can see or they feel that is not working, you're not going to convince somebody through your words that they need to listen to you. No matter how eloquent you are, no matter how emotional or angry or whatever you can make yourself get, you're not going to talk someone into believing anything that comes out of your mouth if they are already in a position of not believing it, whether they're saying it or not. And this is the reason why people say, I can't hear what you're saying because what you do speaks too loudly. And this is the reason why you also know the saying, the actions speak louder than words, because it's 100% true. If you want people to believe what you're doing, let them see it. Even better, let them feel it, what you're doing. Let them feel and experience in their own souls and their own spirits exactly what's happening, rather than them hearing it through their ears. All you're familiar with the saying, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. And people are becoming very, let's just say, accustomed to that these days, because people hear a whole lot of stuff. People talk all damn day. And even what people see, you believe maybe it's not even half of what you see these days, about a quarter of what you see, because now people can create fake stuff that's not even real and fool people with it. Fool people with fake pictures, fake videos, fake news, fake stories, fake everything. So people really don't even believe a whole lot of what they see these days, let alone, what they see these days, let alone what they hear. But people always believe what they experience, because when you experience something, it gives you a feeling, it gives you an energy. And that's the way that you need to get your point across to people. So those of you right now who feel like you're in a rough patch and things are not quite working or turning over the way that you want them to, I understand and I feel you. Here's what I want you to do. Stop trying to verbalize to other people, even to yourself, how things are going to go or how you're going to fix things or how things are going to work out and all of that. Forget all about that. Forget all of that stuff. All I want you to do is put these 3 words into your vocabulary, which is, we gonna see. We gonna see. And we gonna see is you giving a message to yourself and non-verbally planting a seed in your mind for everybody out there who is doubting you, going against you, trashing you, laughing at you, ridiculing you, slowing you down, getting in your way, whatever other thing that they're doing. Just say, we gonna see. And we is you, first of all, putting a vision in your mind of what it's going to look like when things are working out the way they're supposed to. And secondly, you just letting yourself know that in the future, when you do turn things over the way that you know you're going to turn things over, you already know what's going to happen. That person or those people who are in your way right now or blocking you right now, or they're just not aligned with you right now, they're going to see the same thing that you're already seeing in your mind. Here's the discipline, ladies and gentlemen. The discipline is to not have to feel as if you need to verbally express this to believe it. At least not verbally express it to other people. You can verbally express it to yourself in private, but you don't have to verbally express it to everybody else. Like, yeah, I'm gonna make it work. You're gonna see. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to do any of that, rather. Keep it in your head that they're gonna see, and then when it actually happens, you don't have to say anything. See, that's the most powerful position. Most powerful position in life when it comes to achievement is to achieve something at such a level that, number one, you don't have to explain what you achieved because it's obvious. Number two, you don't have to articulate why you proved other people wrong because it's obvious. Number 3, you don't have to demonstrate or explicate that you are better than whoever, maybe that was supposed to be better than you or that you've been competing with. You don't want to have to do that either, because the difference between you and them, the gap between you and your so-called competition, is so big that it's not even a conversation anymore. That's the ultimate power position. The ultimate power position is you don't even have to say anything, because it's so obvious that either A, nobody brings it up anymore because everybody can see that it's a foregone conclusion and the game's over, or B, it's such a clear victory for you that other people start claiming your victory for you. You only have to talk about yourself. Think about somebody like Michael Jordan when he was playing ball. Like, how often do you hear Michael Jordan talking about who he's better than? You never hear him saying he's better than anybody, because he don't have to, because his accomplishments so far outpace the accomplishments of all of his peers that there's not even a conversation to be had. What are you going to say? What is any of Michael Jordan's former competitors going to say? Because he outpaced them by so much that there's no conversation. That's the position you want to put yourself in. How often do you hear Michael Jordan going on a podcast talking about who was better than who and who he was better than, and anybody who talked trash about him, and they're going back and forth 30 years later about who was better? So you see a whole bunch of older players in every sport doing that, right? You never see Michael Jordan doing it. Why don't you see Michael Jordan doing it? Well, big reason, is because his accomplishments spoke so loudly that he doesn't have to say anything. His accomplishments on their own merits speak so loudly that he does not have to say anything to defend what he did, because it's so obvious that everybody else, people like me and you, we talk about him more than he has even talk about himself. You want to do the same thing for yourself. And again, your mindset is, we gonna see. You just go out there and prove it so strongly and so solidly that you never had to bring it up again. You never had to verbally defend yourself. You never had to say anything about what you did. And even the people who were going against you and guaranteeing that you were going to fail, they don't even say anything, because your win is so clear that they got to stay quiet. All right, that's the mindset that you want to put yourself in. You want to take that mindset with you to work, and take all that energy that you would have used talking about what you were going to do and talking about why people need to follow you and listen to you, and transmute that energy into the action of the discipline that you're going to follow and the work that you're going to do, to the point that you will never have to say anything again, because the work spoke so loudly that there's nothing else that needs to be said. You want to condense all that energy and pack it into action, pack it into performance, and do it in such a short period of time. This matters as well, because in life you only have a limited amount of time. Do it in such a short period of time, you got the whole rest of your life to not have to say anything, and everybody else could be talking about you, because the results are so clear that there is nothing left to say. That's what you want to do. Again, that mindset, we gonna see. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, folks. Get access to all of my mental trainings like Bulletproof Mindset, 30 Days of Discipline, and have me as your personal coach. And we take this stuff, we apply this stuff to your business, to your life, systematically and strategically from the ground up. Again, with me working with you the entire way. That's workonyourgameuniversity.com. That link down below in the description to this video. Work on your game. Dre all day.